Thomas and his friends have been made available in many different sizes and scales. Electric models of the characters have been produced by many companies for different gauges. Some companies span different gauges, but only one company produces Thomas for the O-scale world. Welcome everyone to a review of Lionel's infamous and entire Thomas and Friends range. 6 engines, 6 reviews, let's get this show on the road. Hey everyone, it's thomasdotd here, back again with another review. Today we are taking a look at the new Lionchief Percy that came out just a couple months ago. I'm very excited to be uploading a first proper review of this engine, so let's get started. Now a lot of you may be wondering, why did I buy another Percy? Well, my old Percy unfortunately broke, and those earlier 2014 versions were notorious for breaking. Remember when I bought the 2014 James, and as soon as I opened the box, his wheel was broken off? I obviously needed a new Percy, and a lot of you commented on my old review that I never showed off Percy's remote, so let's rectify all of that and do the best Percy review I could possibly do. Let's begin with the box. The new Lionel packaging certainly looks a little different compared to what was seen in the older reviews, but the blue swoosh look and clouds are very flashy and printed nicely. There's a little sticker on the box that says to watch Thomas on Nick Jr. in the US, but unfortunately this is old news and the show no longer airs on television in the US. It's quite a shame, really. Anyway, the packaging is fantastic. It shows a perfect view of the model and the remote control sitting on top. The back of the box showcases other Thomas and Friends items available from Lionel, and overall the box is a perfect size, nice and compact. When we open up the box, we see the model and controller are protected by a nice plastic protective overlay so as to not damage the model. There is a new operator's manual for Percy, which is always an important read, a spare traction tire, and the model and controller. So let's take Percy out of the box and take a look. Yep, just like last time, this is a great representation of Percy's face. Taking a look at Percy, his paint is applied very well, and these newer versions of the models have a very nice, flush, matte finish to them. Percy has his white running board, which looks so sharp, and his whistle and buffers are all accounted for. Just like last time, Percy's dome and whistle should be a nice bronze or gold color, but here they're painted yellow. This would have been a good time to fix the design, but Lionel kept it the same. Everything about Percy looks very nice, but little issues from his older models are still apparent in this new version. For example, his buffers are nice and big, but lack the correct detail, and these little bits on his running board are now painted white instead of black. You also cannot take off Percy's roof, and all the new Lionchief engines no longer have moving eyes. People would say that's a downside, but honestly, Thomas is different now. The show is not filmed with little model trains with moving eyes, it's a cartoon. And plus, Lionel's moving eye mechanism, everyone didn't like it anyway, it moved too quickly. Also worth pointing out is that Percy's rear knuckle coupler has been replaced from a nice metal coupler to a small plastic one. I have to say, this is a disappointment. A flimsy little plastic coupler will not help Percy haul heavy rolling stock. But for an item made for kids, maybe this was a good choice. Percy's chassis, however, is something I still applaud. Unlike Thomas's, Percy's wheels are correctly centered in proportion to the body and are painted a nice bright green just like the rest of the unit. The cylinders are still a bit of a disappointment, not being completely three-dimensional, but it's still a design that seems to be working. These new Lionchief engines do not weigh much, they are very lightweight and good for kids to handle. I'm very excited to run this Percy engine because I've heard the new Lionchief models have brand new sounds. Let's take a look at his remote control. This is the Lionchief remote control for Percy. You'll notice quite a few differences from the other controllers shown in my other reviews. This controller is based upon Lionel's other Lionchief controllers, looking less childlike and clunky, and more curved with a different dial. But the remote still functions the same. We have 3 buttons that control Percy's sounds, and the dial that controls Percy's speed and direction. To get your controller working, simply take off the back panel and insert 3 AAA batteries. Now we can put Percy on the track. When Percy sits on the track, he makes a beeping or chirping noise as he waits for the signal from your controller. So let's turn the controller on and hear Percy. Now this is cool. Percy has brand new sounds, so let's run through each one. First, his whistle. Next, his bell. And let's hear what Percy has to say.
Hello, I'm Percy, the number 6 green engine.
But it doesn't stop there. Press the button again and we hear the Thomas theme song. And while Percy is in motion, his songs and his phrases change. Take a listen.
I love delivering the mail.
Percy plays the Troublesome Truck song. And Never, Never, Never Give Up. I'd also like to take the time to show off the new Bluetooth technology in these new Lionchief trains. Once you download the Lionchief app and see Percy on your screen, simply connect him, and now Percy can be controlled through your phone in case you run out of batteries for your controller. In the app, you can change Percy's whistle tone, you can adjust the volume of the sounds if you want them loud or quiet, and you can even put a speed cap on Percy so he doesn't rocket off the rails. With all these great new details out of the way, let's have Percy run around my modular layout.
Hello, I'm Percy, the number 6 green engine.
This is actually fantastic. Percy controls like a dream. There is no delay from the controller. Your input is precise and Percy can run at wonderfully slow speeds, previously unthinkable with the older version. I am blown away. So all in all, what do I think of the new Lionchief Bluetooth Percy by Lionel? I gotta say, I'm impressed. I've been modeling for quite some time now, so I've seen changes made in this model that seem like downgrades, such as the plastic coupler and the unchanged paint, but this is the first time Percy's been on the market in years, and the choices made were only made to benefit the kids who will be operating this model. While I do miss the heavier weight of Lionel trains, I do think that making the Thomas range more lightweight is only a benefit in the long run. Plus, any problems I have with the model are overshadowed by the music, the new voice clips, and the great whistles and the customizable options when using the app. I know in my other reviews I suggest to viewers to maybe take a look at the Lionel Thomas range and perhaps give it a chance. Well, I think now is the absolute best time you could. 4 Thomas engines are available to buy right now, they aren't rare anymore, and you are getting a really well put together model that is jam-packed with features. I can't recommend Percy enough. He may have some flaws, but all of which can simply be modded. As a model, he's fantastic. This has been thomasdotd, and I hope to see you all again real soon.